Good day everyone. Welcome back to Longswitch Academy. This is Sumam Prajapati here. Today we will be looking at how we can create work orders in Salesforce and what are the different objects involved into that process. So let's begin. First, the account object we will utilize to store the customer's data for which we will be creating the work orders. So in the accounts, if you click on new, you can enter the details about your customers or clients. Let's say I will enter some name like this, test account, or maybe test customer for demo. You can define the rating, like what is the priority of this client for you or this customer for you. I'll keep it as warm. The phone number that you would like to save for your customer. I'll enter the name here. If your customer is having any fax, you can enter the fax details. If he is having any website, you can also enter the website details. If you have their account number, unique account number that you're maintaining for each of your clients, then you can enter the account number as well. For me, I'll enter this because we store our clients data in a sequential manner. Then we will see what type of customer is you are entering the data for. So let's say I'll enter customer direct, since I will be entering the details about my direct customer and the industry in which your your customer is located. For example, I'll enter communications and some basic details that you can enter uh, for your client, such as number of employees, SIC code, the ownership, maybe it is private ownership, whether it is active. Yes, the active customer is there. Email address. If you have any specific mobile number associated with your uh, with your customer, then you can enter that as well. You can define the currency for your customer, and you can also enter the billing and shipping address. If uh, like if your customer is having different billing and shipping addresses, you can specify here. State and billing code, it will be Gujarat, since we are located in Gujarat, India. We can also enter some additional information like description. This is test. Once you are done with it, you can click on save button, and your customer's record will be created. Then with your customer, it might be a firm, it can be a company or a shop. So that is basically your customer, but under that customer you will be having some point of contact. Maybe you are having contact number of the owner, maybe his staff. That information you can enter here under the contacts. So in case you want to add the contacts associated with your customer, then you can use this space. Click new. You can add the salutation. Let's say I'll add uh, my own name, and it will automatically establish a relationship with the customer record. You don't have to do anything. And I'll add some phone number for that contact, title of that contact, maybe on maybe founder and director, but it can be any title. It can be a salesman, it can be a sales manager, like that. The department, the birth date, if you have the birth date. So even the mobile number, other number, assistant phone, those kind of things you can add. You can also add the mailing address or other address. By default, if you have noticed, when you try to add contact related to your what I say related to your customer, then some of the information gets pre-populated, such as the mailing address from the customer record. So you can fill in this form. You can have the record of all the necessary information that you have. Click save. So this is the one contact associated with my what I say with my customer I added. But as you can add as many contacts as you have with your customer, and that information will remain saved in the system. You don't have to remember anything. Once you record the information in the system, it will stay there. You can just, whenever you log in into your account and try to look information related to your customer, then you'll find it. So this is pretty much it about how you can create a customer and add associated content. Look how you can add work orders related to your customers. In order to do that, you have to go to the work orders tab. Click here, select new, and select the appropriate status for your work order. Maybe I'll select the status as new because I'm just adding a new work order for my customer account. I want to search, so it will be test customer for demo, that because that's what we had created. Then you can choose the priority, whether it is low, medium, high, or critical. I'll keep it as medium. Let's choose the contact associated with my customer, and duration type, whether how much time a particular thing would take to fix. Secondly, like as you know, in when you are in a service industry, you often get requests from the client. Otherwise, there is no chance that you will know what kind of service your customer is expecting from you. So he will definitely reach out to you for the with the inquiry or with the request. So that request generally we track in a case. That case is basically a service request. So for example, here this customer contact we added for the customer, we are entering a new request that let's say a request to fix some laptop parts. I'll also choose the account type. Maybe it will be electrical. And what is the reason for raising this request? Maybe breakdown. You can choose appropriate reason. There are some additional fields that we can ignore for now, but some we'll take a look at some like important fields like status. It will be new. Priority we already set, and the origin, how you receive the request. It can be phone number, phone. You must have received a phone call from your customer. You must have received an email, or maybe a web inquiry through your website. So that can be that origin can be either of these. So let's say we choose phone as the origin, and since you are providing service to your what I say your customers, so they might have purchased some products from you, so then only you will be providing some services. Or it might happen that like they have purchased the product somewhere from somewhere else, but they are asking you to fix some of the issues. So in case they have what I say, in case they have purchased a product from you, and on that product they are asking for a service, then you can choose your product from the list. Otherwise, you can leave it empty. And the another thing, you can choose as per the choice and enter the subject. Request to fix a laptop issue. You can add the description, like this morning I received a request from Mr. Shubham Prajapati to fix his laptop issue. Additionally, you can also add some internal comments for your team, because it might happen that someone else from your team work on the issue. So maybe you can add comments like, before like that, you can also add internal comments. But another thing that I wanted to highlight here, there is a choice whether you want to send this like notification of this receipt of this service to your contact. Like in this case, you are creating a contact for your for your creating a request for your test customer, and related to that test customer, Subham Prajapati is the contact. So do you want to send this like receipt of the request to that contact as an email, so that he is notified that his request has been entered into the system? If you wish to, you can choose this option. So I want to send this information. Okay, you see this error we received. Contact has an invalid or missing email address. So this is the level of validation that this system performs. It checks for the accuracy of the information. Let's go back to that contact and see what we can do about it. I'm just going into my app. I'll go to the contacts. This was the contact that we created for the demo purpose. Okay, you see, for this contact, the email address is missing, but we selected to send this notification email to the contact. Since this contact is not having any email address, it is throwing the error. So just to give you an idea that this level of validation the system automatically performs, so it avoids any bad data entry into your system. Let's go back and edit this detail in the email. I'll add that person's email address. I'll hit save. I'll get back to this case creation screen. I'll hit save. You see, now my service request has been created. Okay, now it asks what kind of work you want to do for your customer. Now the system has the capability that you can predefine the work types uh, that you are providing to your customer. So I'll go to the search. I'll see what we have pre-configured. Currently, we just have pre-configured two things: repair laptop, repair air conditioner. For now, as we are demoing a service request entry and the work order entry for the laptop repair, so we can choose repair laptop. But here you can pre-configure the generic work types that you are providing to your what I say customers, and the estimation duration that that kind of service generally takes. So it will be an estimation that you can define. In order to assign or define more work types, you can select the work type, hit new, and define everything related to your uh, predefined services. So that is also even possible with it. Let's try doing some and data entry for that new work type. Let's say laptop formatting. Like maybe you want this service includes like service related to formatting the operating system on the laptop. You can define the operating hours, like during what time of the day you provide this kind of service. Estimation duration, generally it takes 4 hours that to format a laptop and make it ready to use, and duration is hours or minutes. Sometimes some work might be requiring just 30 minutes of time, so when you at that point of time you can specify 30 as the estimation duration and minutes as the time, but here it will take 4 hours. Then you can specify all the necessary information that you want to enter, hit save. You see, new work type is created. Likewise, you can also pre-configure the different work types that you provide to your customers, so that it saves time at the time of like entering your work order details. So if we go back here, let me search for like what we had entered: laptop formatting. You see, this appears here. So likewise, you can configure the work types. You can also decide the price book. That is a different story, but I'm just giving you a basic overview of how you can define or how you can create a new work orders. Then for this particular work order, how much time it will require, when you will be planning to start, and I want, let's say I want to start it on 4th of December around 3 p.m. and I'll be finishing it off by 5th of December 3 p.m. Like the 24 hours duration is there, and you can enter the subject: work order for test customer, and I'm just entering any easy to remember subject. So you can enter the subject in any pattern that you can remember. Add the description, add this city state 124. Let's say I'll enter details. Swift. In this system, you can also enter any international address in case you are providing services via what I say via internet, or maybe you are providing some online services through the remote access. So you can use the same form to enter the international details. Once you're done with the information, hit save. Your work order will be created. Sorry about that. So once your work order is ready, you can see the information that you have entered. So our new work order is ready. As you can see the basic details about the work order, such as work order number. This is an auto generated number provided by the system. So it will be unique every time for the every new order that you place. Then there is this status, then the priority, the account, which means the customer for which this work order is placed, the case that we had seen how to create the case for your work order, then the point of contact that you have from the customer side that you are using with this particular work order. And one more thing that I wanted to highlight, with these relationship data, you can also see the basic information about your related information. For example, as you can see here in this pop-up, you can see the basic information about the point of contact from the customer sides, like you can see the title, account name, the phone, email. So it becomes, or it makes your life easier to find the relevant information, so you don't have to go back and forth to track the or to get the information about any of your records. So this makes your life easy. Then you can see the status category, work type, like what kind of work we will be carrying out as part of this work order. So these are the things. Now once your work order is ready, you can also create the work plan for your order, like which plan your work order will follow in order to successfully complete it. So I'll set up the plan. Here in the parent record, I'll be choosing work order because we are creating this work plan for our work order. So first plan would be guideline. It is like it is like configuring the prerequisite steps that your team has to follow in order to complete this work order. So first would be guidelines to understand the problem. In order to solve anything, you first thoroughly understand what the problem is before proposing any solution. So the execution order of this work plan would be one. This is the first thing that your customer has that your team member has to follow. And let's choose our work order. This one, work order for test customer. Yes, and I'll add some description. First, understand the problem from the customer. Second would be, in order to get the understanding, ask customers preference. For instance, if they want to if the customer wants to explain it over the phone call, or would prefer a physical visit, or prefer a like on-site visit from the support representative. I'm just giving you an overview. You can have your own guidelines or you can have your own sequence of the work plan. But I'm just giving you a demo that these are the capabilities of the system. This level of fine grained information you can put in into the system. I'll just add one work plan for now. Second work plan would be just for the demo purpose. Let's add one more. I'll select my work order. Second would be, once the problem is understood, before even start working or implementing the solution, propose the possible solution. And this will be the second execution order. Before, so that I'll add some description before even you start fixing the problem. First, analyze the problem. Let me just refresh this to this. First, analyze the problem with the best of your abilities. Second, propose all the possible solutions. Again, you can have your own wording, you can have your own what I say, series of steps. I'll save it. For now, I just add two work plans. You can have n number of work plans to carry out your work orders for your what I say customer. Okay, so those were the steps to specify the work plan for your work order. Now, before we proceed, let me just rename this. Since the work plan is more inclined towards having the guidelines of what to do at each step, so I'll rename it to guideline to propose the possible solutions. I'll rename it. So once you have your work plans ready, you can define the steps or the work steps for each of your work plan. For example, we had set up the first work plan as guidelines to understand the problem. So we can add a work step, like what are the steps that user or the like support representative has to follow to carry out that work plan. For that, you have to click on the new button besides that work steps. First step would be call to the customer. So our work plan would be guidelines to understand the problem. Action execution order would be one under that work plan. That this would be the first step that the representative has to follow. I'll add some description. Call the customer to know more about the problem. What's going on? Then click save. Likewise, you can have multiple steps for your single work plan. So let's add a step number 2 for the work plan guidelines to understand the problem. Schedule for example, first we had asked for like calling to the customer. Once the call is in place, like the support representative might have like had a discussion about the problem. So the next step would be update the system with appropriate appropriate information based on the call. So it will also go under the guidelines to understand the problem. It will be the second. I'll add some description, update the system with the latest development happened after the call with the customer. This might include that the support representative might have like tried to reach out to the customer and he was unable to have a connection. Maybe the customer was busy with something, and somehow the support representative might not be able to establish a call between with the customer, or it might also happen that the support representative might have had a call with the customer, and based on the call, uh, he might have been enlightened with more information about the issue. So whatever the outcome of the call, based on that outcome, the system should update with the latest update. Hit save. So we have established one two work plans for our work order. Under one work plan, we have set the steps. Similarly, if the second work plan would be guideline to propose the possible solutions. For that also we can define the work steps. So first work step would be analyze the problem, and in the work plan I would choose guidelines to propose the possible solutions. Now in the description I'll add do your detailed analysis of the problem. If needed, get help from the other teammates. So likewise, you can have your own detailed description about the work step. Even you can also name it as per your industry standards. Click save, and let's add one more work step for the work plan too. So the second step would be, for example, the second step would be propose the solution, and here also we will choose guidelines to propose the solution. It will be the second. Try to suggest the sol- possible solutions with estimated efforts required. Try to suggest the possible solutions with estimated efforts required. That, that means when you are suggesting something that this a particular problem could be solved by a certain way, then you have to be well equipped with all the information, such as you know how much effort it will require and what would be the cost. The second would be do not share any incomplete solution for the problem. So that is pretty much it. This is how you can specify the work step for each of your work plans. So we have seen how we can configure the work plan, then how we can configure the work steps for each of the work plan. Next, it might happen that in order to fulfill your work order, you might have to supply some products to your customer. In order to record such entries, like all the products associated with the work order, you can use this section, that is work order line items. Let me just give you a small demo. In order to add the products that you might be supplying as part of the work order, you have to click on new status, like whether it is in progress, on hold, completed, or cannot complete, like that. I'll keep it as new. Let's say since we are doing a laptop repair, it might happen that the battery of the laptop is not working. So let's say I'll add a new work order line item for replacement of the laptop battery. Since I'm replacing it, so I have to add one battery of laptop as my product, and obviously I'm just repairing one laptop, so there could only be maximum one battery of laptop. And I can also optionally specify the date and time when I added that, what I say, when I added that particular work order line item. And the price, let's say I'm charging the person 2200 rupees for that one unit of a laptop battery. And optionally you can have the description just for the notes purposes: replaced the old battery with new one, as the old battery got damaged. You can use this space to enter the relevant comments so that in future also you can remember why certain item was added to the work order and could not be repaired. These some of the fields: list price, total price, will come auto populated with the based on the configurations of the product in your inventory. There is a a special setup for the specifying the prices for your products that we will cover in the later part of this series. Let's save this order line item. So my order line item got created. Similarly, sometimes what happens when you are carrying out one work order, there are some, there might be some new challenges come across your way. There might be some additional uh, changes you might have to do, and this additional work you might have to carry out. For instance, let's say while repairing the laptop, you might encounter that, what I say, you might encounter that the laptop skin is not proper. It can harm the laptop. So you can suggest to the customer that along with repairing the laptop, you should also buy one laptop skin. So that is a different work that you have to carry out. That is a different item that you will be selling to your customer. In that case, you can create sub child orders, sub work orders for your parent work order. If you have such situation, you can use this space to add more or sub work orders as part of your parent order. Similarly, since this is a work order, so which means you will be fulfilling some requests from your customer. The request could include repairing certain portions of the electronics that you have shared, that you have sold to that customer. It might also include delivery of certain new products that the customer has bought from you. So for that, you might be what scheduling some appointments with the customer based on his or her availability. So if you have that kind of situation, you can use this space. Let's try creating one service appointment here. In order to do that, you just have to click on new here. You can choose the contact from the customer, that is Shubham Prajapati. Then you can also suggest how much time it will take. Let's say it will take 2 hours. So in the duration, I'll choose 2, and in the hours, I'll choose in the sorry duration type, I will choose hours. And the it will this service of appointment will automatically be linked with your work order. And subject, for example, since we are selling one new laptop battery uh, uh, to the customer after the repair or as part of the repair, so maybe we can have a service appointment to deliver the repaired laptop, delivering the repaired laptop. Or maybe if not delivering, picking up the damaged laptop. First you can have a appointment to pick up the laptop. You can fill in the date and time when you want to go and pick up. I just let's just schedule one thing for the December 6th around 12 p.m. That's fine. And due date I can set accordingly. And status initially, since I'm just creating it, so it will be scheduled. And work type would be prepare laptop. You can also add in any additional information. You can add in the address of your what I say customer. Let's say 124 first floor, Surat 395007. State would be Gujarat. Country would be India. And also you can set up the scheduled time. Let's say 6th December around 12 p.m. And like I can also specify the end date that I will arrive between that time only. I won't be delaying for any reasons. So I'll set it 12:30 p.m. Then schedule start and end that you can configure. This section talks about the scheduled times that you are scheduling, that you will meet the customer around 12 p.m. on 6th of December. But it might happen that due to any reason, due to traffic or due to delays at the previous service, you might get delayed to reach to the location. So this section will be useful in that direction, in that kind of situation where your where it might happen that your scheduled time might get changed due to any reasons. So your actual time would be, let's say, I have scheduled it for 12 p.m. on 6th December, but somehow I got late and I reach at 1 p.m. So everything will be shift by 30 minutes. So that kind of capability is also there. Let me just do it here. And in the duration and the phone and email that you can enter. Once you're done with it, you can just save this record so that when you have a lot of information related to your work order, you can see that this system very brilliantly organizes this system very brilliantly arrange your information in such a systematic manner that you get to know all the details about your work order very clearly, and you can have a quick look at the information. For example, this 0005 is my work order, and I can see that these are its basic details, like what's status, what's its priority, which is the customer that belongs to this work order, what is the case number, who is the point of contact from the customer's side, like that. And I can also see what are the work plans, what are the work steps, what are the work order line items that I associated with this order. So you get to know more details about your all the details about your work order at one place. Similarly, since we are in the service industry, everything related to service requires certain set of skills. So this system gives you a capability where you can uh, like well define the skill requirement to carry out this work order, so that particular work order is not assigned to a less skilled or unskilled member of your team. For example, let me just create one skill requirement. Since we are dealing with a laptop repair, so the person should be at least a computer technician, and you can define the level of skills. So if any manager of my company comes into this work order, he looks at that. Okay, we have received this work order. These are the work plans, work steps, appointments, and then he comes to this section, skill requirement. Then he will come to know that this order can only be fulfilled by a support team member who is skilled in the computer technician. So we have seen the entire life cycle of creating a work order, associating work plans, work steps, work order line items, specifying the service appointments, then pre-configuring the skill set required to carry out one work order. Next, but last but not the least, one thing that I wanted to highlight, that we can also create the reports out of these work orders just to see where we stand on a given time frame, like how many work orders we have received and how the company is scaling around the time, so that you can also check. So in order to see the reports, you have to go to the reports tab. I have created one brief report about like work orders by client. This report talks about or groups all the work orders that I have received and by the individual customers. For example, right now in the system I just have two clients with me or two customers with me. That is this one, Longswitch Electronics sales demo, then test customer for demo. So this report groups all the work order by particular customer. So I get to know how much I'm selling to my customers for how much I'm selling to my individual customers, and which are the customers who are not placing any orders with me. Like that, I get to know more inside details about my work order history around the time. And similarly, like it also provides some graphical interface or graphs of the data that we have in the system. And this report is highly customizable. Like you can change the filters, you can change the layouts, you can change the chart. Like here there is an option to toggle the chart, whether you want to show the chart or not, you can do it. If you want to change the chart type, currently it was showing some line chart, I can change it to donut, sorry, or maybe I can change it to columns. Whatever is your preference, you can have the charts ready accordingly. You can refresh the reports, you can have the bar chart, column chart, stacked chart. Or here you have to configure. You have to configure. Let's say I chose this donut chart, so I have to configure what kind of value I want to show. I want to show the total price. So that's how the bar chart will appear. You can set the chart title, work orders by customers. Even you can have the bar chart, column chart, like that. You can have it. There are so many options that you can choose from. If you wish to hide it, then I have already filters on the report. Like you can filter whether you want to show all the work orders or your work orders, or maybe your team's work order. Maybe you can also filter it by created date, when it got created, what was the end date, start date. You can even choose the time range, like whether you want to show the all the time, like work orders from the and all the time available, or maybe any custom range that you want to pick. Maybe you want to choose current financial year or previous financial year. Like that you can choose. There are so many like time range that is available for your use, so it becomes the data filtering easy on the reports. Once you are done with your changes, you can hit save and your changes could be saved. And similarly, you can also export these data, like whether you want to export in Excel, or maybe you can choose some CSV or XLSX as well, based on your need. So maybe I want to export the formatted report, so I'll export it to Excel. I'll go here, my file is downloaded. I'll try to click on it and see what kind of data I receive. Let it open. You see, we had the report in this format in the org, and similar format we got it extracted into Excel. So this is about the entire work order lifecycle within the Salesforce platform. how you can. I have given you the overview about creating the work orders, generating reports, and exporting the report for the later processing to make the informed business decisions. So I hope you have received many insights about the work order configurations in Salesforce, how it works, and I hope you find this video very helpful. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to our channel for getting more professional tips like this. Thank you.